Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hi everybody, it's Cheryl Talley Moss and welcome to my YouTube channel. I accidentally deleted the finished product of this video. So what I did was I went back and I put pieces of another video that has meat in the canning jars, and this will show you how you pressure can anything with meat in it. And I hope you'll understand. And going forward in the future, I'll be more careful about how I store my video. It happened because I was running out of memory. I'm sure it's happened to you before. I ran out of memory and I had to delete some things. I got a phone call, I got distracted, and I thought that I had saved the video before I deleted it out of the program that it was in. So please forgive me, but I still wanted to get this to you, and I promise you I will make another video from beginning to end with showing you how I make soup or stew with meat in it and how I pressure can it. So I hope you forgive me for splicing pieces of videos together. I would hope that you would just want to know how you actually do it so that you can learn how to do it if you haven't done it. A lot of my subscribers have been asking me to share more canning videos, so I'm doing this for you. Leave me a comment if you can't follow along with what I'm saying, or if you think I should never do this again. I'll just let me know how you feel, but know that it's coming from my heart. Okay, let's get started. I took 10 pounds of chicken and I boiled it, and I kept the bones in. And then after the chicken boiled for 3 hours, I let it cool, and I removed the chicken from the bones, and I waited till that, and I refrigerated it. The chicken. Then I let the bones simmer in the broth for 24 hours. You see, the best flavor comes from broth that is made from meat bones. That's where the marrow is. That's where all the flavor is. And so the next morning, I removed all the chicken bones, and then I added whatever I had in my freezer to the broth. And that was homegrown. All of this I'm getting ready to name was grown in my food forest. Carrots, green beans, sweet peppers, crushed red pepper flakes, parsley, a lot of okra. And because that gives it its thickness. Onions, and a few beans. Now, I did add 1 can of sweet corn, 1 can of chickpeas, and 1 can of sweet peas. And I brought this mixture to a boil, and then I simmered it for an hour. And I also added my own homegrown broccoli. After this simmered for an hour, I added my crushed pepper flakes, black pepper, and just a pinch of salt for flavoring, because I'm a low sodium diet. And then I dipped it up into my sanitized jars, and put the lids and the bands on them, and then I pressure canned them. Now, as I stated in my introduction, I'm going to show you some older footage of how I pressure can anything with meat in it. So, here are some mixed greens with turkey wings cooked in them. And what I did was I filled the jars, which were sanitized with boiling water. I filled the food up in the jars. And then I took that canning spatula and I removed all of the bubbles that was in the jars. This ensures that you get a good seal. And after I removed all of the bubbles out of the jars, then it's time to wipe the rims of the jars. You have to get any moisture and any oil around those rims off, or your seal won't take. But before you put your lids on, you want to make sure that you wipe the rims of the jars several times. I use vinegar. Vinegar is a sanitizer. It's something that my mother and my grandmother did. And so, yeah, I wipe them very good, guys. Sometimes I do it 4 times. It depends on how much oil or fat is in the product. You want to make sure that your, lids adhere. So now we're putting all of the lids on and the bands, and you just put them finger tight, and then you're going to put them in your pressure canner with just lukewarm water in it, and you're going to slowly bring it to a boil, and you're going to follow the manufacturer's directions of your canner. Please follow your manufacturer's directions. All food that has meat in it or meat alone must be pressure canned for 90 minutes if it's a quart and 75 minutes if it's a pint. And I pressure can 1.5 pints like I do quarts. Okay, remember, I can't repeat it enough. Follow your manufacturer's directions. Now I'm going to show you what I do with my 921 All-American pressure canner. As you can see there, I'm putting the toggles, some people call them bolts, on. And I'm making sure that everything is all lined up. Then I would bring the food in the canner to a boil and let it build up pressure. Right there is a weight. For my altitude, I need to have 10 pounds of weight in North Texas. You check with your manufacturer to find out where you are located and how much weight you need to put on your canner to satisfactorily can it. You see, I'm lining that up right there. I'm making sure, I'm just checking there. And also, I want to have that pressure build up to, in that gauge dial that I'm getting ready to show you, excuse my finger there, I want that pressure to build up on the gauge to 11. So right now you see that it's beginning to hiss. And once that is doing that for steadily for 10 minutes, then I will put the weight, 10-pound weight, on the pressure canner. And I won't start timing it until I'm moving over to the gauge right there when it hits 11 pounds or at number 11. And I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. So right now we're right there at 10 or 11 pounds, and I will start my timer. The pressure is building up. I will start the timer for 90 minutes. When the 90 minutes is up, I will turn off the gas. If you have electricity, you'll do that, and you must wait until all that pressure has escaped. You see that dial was on 0. Now we can take off the pressure weight, unloose the bolts, and then you can take the top off the canner. Some people try to rush it. Some people try to open that canner up when the pressure is still in there. I don't want to scare anybody, but as long as you do it correctly, you don't have anything to worry about. If that gauge is on 0 and there's nothing coming out of that pressure chamber there, all you have to do is just ease off the top like I'm doing here. Voila, you're done. And then you want to take your lifter because that water is still boiling and it's still hot. So you're going to take your lifter and you're going to remove the jars out of the container. Now, I couldn't do it because I can't do that with the phone in my hand as well as do this at the same time. I'm not going to take chances like that. But when I do get the right equipment, guys, I'm going to allow you to see me actually do it. But you can figure that out. But I will in the future. My goal is to be more present in the videos. The tripod that I had is broken. My grandchildren broke it. And so I'm going to get another one. And this coronavirus may mess up my Mother's Day because my children ask me what I want. And usually around Easter, they'll start asking me what I want and this equipment to make my videos more proficient. But because we're all on lockdown, I don't know. If we're going to get a Mother's Day gift, but not this year. Boy, that sounds selfish, doesn't it? Well, I'm only human. I'm not perfect. But guys, once you do this, you let your jars sit for 24 hours and you can start hearing them ping. Just put them on top of a butcher block or some thick towels. You can also put a towel over it and that will facilitate them sealing. And don't check them for 24 hours. Don't get nervous. The next day, you'll check them. When they're smooth across the top, you'll know that there's no puffiness in the center of the jar that your jar has sealed. At this point, you want to take your bands off. You want to rinse your product off. And then you can just pick it up from the lid and you'll know if it's sealed or not. And then you'll date it and put it in your pantry. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope I shared something that you can use. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to watch my video. You guys know I love you, each and every one of you. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and please share my video with your friends. The end. I have 6 grandchildren, and man, I tell you, I miss them so much. Thank you for watching. Bye now.